We're about a month out from the start of another school year. How healthcare providers are reminding parents to keep their students up on their immunizations.
Plus, shots are fired inside Mall of America. What police are saying about the incident that sent shoppers into a lockdown.
And with the primary election drawing near, Rebecca Clayfish campaigns in western Wisconsin as Tim Michaels launches a new attack ad. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
We may soon have a new tool to fight COVID-19. Pfizer and Moderna are developing what's known as bivalent boosters. Those are vaccines that are comprised of the old formula along with a new one that focuses on the current subvariants. The FDA says if they approve the shots, they could become available as soon as next month.
And just today, the Biden administration has declared monkeypox a public health emergency. Cases have been on the rise all across the country recently since the first U.S. monkeypox case was identified in mid-May. More than 6,600 probable or confirmed cases have been detected in every state except Montana and Wyoming. Ahead of the school year, it might be time to make sure your child is all caught up on their immunizations, but with viruses in schools that go beyond what's required for protection.
Catherine Merck is in the studio with some advice for parents on how to navigate all of your shots.
While checking the items off your back-to-school shopping list, there's the typical things Dr. Dan Beardmore recommends every year.
To protect against measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox, tetanus, whooping cough.
Statewide data show a lot of the more populated counties have higher immunization rates compared to those further out overall. For the school districts with lower vaccination rates, the advice from Dr. Beardmore is simple. Vaccines are safe and effective.
And we would love to protect as best as we can, especially if we know that these vaccines are extremely safe.
On top of the typical shots, there's 2 additional vaccines Dr. Beardmore says you should add this fall: the flu and COVID.
And I really do think that it's a good idea for kids to be coming in and getting those done. We want to try to keep our kids in school. We want to try to dampen the spread of this virus as best as we can. And it really is a very safe vaccine.
It's just a couple more things to add to your list to make sure your child is off to a good start.
And even if not a perfect vaccine, what parent wouldn't want to reduce the risk, to reduce the likelihood of your kid catching any cold and having to miss school?
Catherine Merck reporting. Dr. Beardmore says he understands that this is a lot of shots to keep track of. However, he did recommend some tools to help, including an online tool called MyChart.
Information on how to use the tool to keep track of your medical records is available on our website right now at channel3000.com. With historic inflation impacting everyday life and less tools to help parents out with rising costs, back-to-school shopping could be very expensive for families. A National Retail Federation study says parents can expect to pay 40% more this year on back-to-school supplies, with the average household expected to spend over $860. In addition, last year, parents benefited from stimulus checks and advanced child tax credit payments. Those are not available this year. So we're trying to help those families better prepare their kids for class with our back-to-school fundraiser in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. You've heard us talk about this all week long. On your screen right now is a short list of locations to drop off supplies. More than 30 local businesses are taking part, and this all leads up to our big Fill the Boat event at Lake Winkra tomorrow. You can find our morning crew live there all day long, asking you to stop by and donate.
After being postponed a day due to weather, concerts on the square went off without a hitch tonight. The performance, the final one of the summer series, and what an absolutely perfect night for it. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti now with our certified most accurate forecast. Nice night, Gary.
Yeah, sun up to sundown. It was a great day today, and like you say, it's a nice evening tonight. Let's start out by taking a look at the time lapse from the WISC Skycam. Bright sunshine this morning. Those fair weather cumulus clouds popping up in the afternoon, coming in from the northeast with that drier wind flow, and skies clearing out by sunset. On Doppler track, you can see Wisconsin in the free as far as precipitation is concerned. That's any showers and thunderstorms are down in Indiana and Michigan. High temperatures today, mid-80s in Madison, 84 is our high, 86 in Janesville. Most areas were in the lower to middle 80s, but notice a little cooler closer to Lake Michigan. That northeasterly wind off of the cooler waters of the lake, keeping temperatures in the upper 70s from Milwaukee northward. Current temperatures, again, show that little bit of cooling closer to Lake Michigan. Temperatures 61 in Sheboygan, 62 in Manitowoc, but here in Madison, we're at 71 degrees. Most areas are in the upper 60s. Dew point temperatures, upper 50s to the lower 60s, not terribly humid. Look for skies to be mostly clear overnight, low temperature dropping to a pleasant 59 degrees, but We have an alert day in the forecast. That is for Saturday for heat and humidity. I'll have more on that and the threat for thunderstorms in just a few minutes.
We're seeing the moment multiple gunshots are fired inside the Mall of America this afternoon, and you can see a man yelling as he goes into a store, and soon after, the shots are fired. Well, that shooting prompting a rush of people and the mall to go on lockdown. The mall called it an isolated incident, and over the loudspeakers, you could hear a voice telling people to stay in secure areas. The lockdown has since been lifted, and so far, police say a suspect has not been arrested and no injuries have been reported. Also new tonight, 4 people have life-threatening injuries after they were apparently struck by lightning near the White House this evening. Medics rushed 2 women and men to area hospitals after they were hit at Lafayette Park, which is about a block away from the executive residence. No further information was immediately available.
On the campaign trail, Republican gubernatorial candidate Rebecca Clayfish making a couple of stops in western Wisconsin today, first in La Crosse and then just outside Eau Claire in Altoona. She was joined by former Governor Scott Walker, who has been campaigning with her this week. The race for governor is heated up between her and Tim Michels. He recently launched an attack ad against her, calling Clayfish the ultimate Madison insider.
I've been up against this money and this mob before, and I have won statewide 4 times. If you want to win it again, I ask for your vote on August 9th and then again in November. Thank you so much for what you have done.
Now tomorrow, another high-profile campaign stop for the other side of the Republican Party. Former President Trump will be the headliner in Waukesha tomorrow, joined by 2 of his endorsed candidates, Tim Michels, who's running for governor, and Adam Steen, who is challenging Assembly Speaker Robin Vos. Right-wing talk show host Alex Jones will have to pay the parents of a Sandy Hook shooting victim a little more than $4 million in compensatory damages. That's the ruling from a jury today, capping a stunning and dramatic case that showcased for the public the real-world harm inflicted by viral conspiracy theories. Jones baselessly said in the aftermath of the Sandy Hook shooting, in which 26 people were killed, that the incident had been staged.
The state has rested its case in the Nicholas Cruz sentencing trial. Jurors visited the school this morning where 17 people died in the 2018 mass shooting in Parkland, Florida. The 1200 building at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School has been sealed off since the day of the attack. The judge in the case explained the visit was meant to help jurors analyze the evidence firsthand. Jurors will either recommend a sentence of life in prison or the death penalty. The Justice Department announced federal civil rights charges against 4 former Kentucky police officers over the botched raid that led to the death of Breonna Taylor. One of the 4 charged, Brett Hankinson, was among the officers who fired shots that night. He was acquitted on the state charges of wanton endangerment earlier this year. 2 others were accused of falsifying the affidavit to obtain the search warrant and attempting to cover up, and the 4th is charged with making false statements to investigators. Lawyers for WNBA star Brittany Griner say they will appeal after a Russian court sentenced her to 9 years in prison on drug charges today.
In a statement, President Biden called the verdict, quote, unacceptable, and vowed to continue to work to bring her home safely as soon as possible. Natalie Brand reports.
I love my family.
WNBA star Brittany Griner told reporters she loves her family as she was led away in shackles after receiving a 9-year prison sentence on charges of cannabis possession. Her month-long Russian trial came to an end Thursday morning, shortly after the 2-time Olympic champion delivered an apology.
I never meant to hurt anybody. I never meant to put in jeopardy the Russian population. I never meant to break any laws.
Griner's lawyers argued the Phoenix Mercury Center brought vape cartridges with cannabis oil by mistake when she flew to Moscow in February to play basketball in Russia during the off-season. They presented written testimony from a doctor who prescribed her with cannabis for pain treatment.
Griner's legal fight has played out amid increased tensions between the U.S. and Russia. The Biden administration says the basketball star was wrongfully detained and has urged Moscow to negotiate a prisoner swap.
We have made a substantial offer to bring her and Paul Whelan home. We urge Russia to accept that proposal. This is something the president and our national security team are focused on every single day.
People familiar with the proposal say the U.S. wants to trade Griner and U.S. citizen Paul Whelan, who also remains imprisoned in Russia, for a notorious arms trader, Victor Booth, serving a sentence in the U.S. The Biden administration says it will pursue every possible avenue to bring Griner and Whelan home safely as soon as possible. Natalie Rand, CBS News, Washington.
Griner's WNBA team, the Phoenix Mercury, released a statement saying they are, quote, heartbroken, but they remain confident in the public servants working to return her to her family and her teammates. Well, check it out. This is Warren County, Iowa, about 30 miles south of Des Moines. A hot air balloon tangled in a power line today. One person was on board at the time but was not hurt. In an unrelated incident in the same area last week, 3 people were seriously hurt in a hot air balloon incident involving a power line. Those people are still recovering.
More local news. A Wisconsin-based award-winning cheese company breaking ground today on its new headquarters in Stoughton. Emmy Roth says this 134,000 square foot facility's construction will result in approximately 100 new jobs created right here in Dane County. The new headquarters in Stoughton will add to existing Emmy Roth locations in Monroe, Platteville, and Seymour. A pair of F-16 fighting Falcons from the 115th Fighter Wing in Madison taking part in today's opening ceremonies for the CrossFit Games. Hundreds of athletes from across the world are in Madison for the Games, which are now in its 5th year here. The city also recently signed an extension to continue hosting the Games for at least 3 more years. The Games will run through the weekend, and CBS will have live coverage of the biggest competition on Sunday from noon to 2 p.m. You can watch that right here on Channel 3. And to learn more about the Games, just head to channel3000.com. Still ahead at 10, your updated forecast, including a few chances for rain.
But first, on her first full day in office, we'll meet the new chancellor at the UW-Madison. Stay with us.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
I'm U.S. Senate candidate Peter Pekarsky, now in 2nd place, approving this ad paid for by Pekarsky for Wisconsin and saying that 4 out of the 5 remaining candidates want you to know before you vote whether the candidate you vote for can handle Ron Johnson on a debate stage and where that person stands on legalizing marijuana, reparations, and protecting your right to vote and have that vote counted as cast. We're a walk in the park compared to Ron Johnson. Show the state you're ready, Mandela. Join us and let's have the first debate with all the candidates.
Family-owned Brothers Maine knows choosing appliances for a remodel or new build can be exciting and overwhelming. Our experienced staff has experienced it all as we've guided thousands of area families through appliance selection. Brothers Maine has a larger inventory and low-price deals that consistently beat competitors, including Big Box. You heard me. Big Box can't beat our prices. From sales to install, Brothers Maine does it all. Feel great about your purchases and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
It's Fuel Frenzy Weekend this Friday through Sunday at HyVee. Get a 20-cent fuel saver when you buy 10 pork chops. A 20-cent fuel saver on Sunbelt Bakery granola bars when you buy 4. A 15-cent fuel saver on HyVee cereal when you buy 5. A 5-cent fuel saver on a gallon of HyVee white milk. And get a 10-cent fuel saver on HyVee purified drinking water when you buy 2 24-packs. Don't miss Fuel Frenzy Weekend this Friday through Sunday at HyVee.
Mom, Abel's looking for you.
Oh, all right. As parents, we know that all Wisconsin kids should grow up in a healthy, safe world. As a women's health doctor, I know that access to abortion services is fundamental to personal and economic success. I'm going to fight for financial security so Wisconsin families can succeed and even dream. I'm Jillian Bettino, a mother, a doctor, a fighter, and I'm running for Wisconsin State Treasurer.
Tomorrow, we're filling the boat for our back-to-school supply drive.
I'll be on Lake Wingra to collect your donations, and I won't leave until my canoe is filled to the gills.
And it's going to be a nice day for it. Plenty of sunshine. That's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
watching News 3 Now at 10.
Start 2, 1.
Welcome back. 6 tourists traveling to the edge of space aboard a Blue Origin New Shepard rocket today. The suborbital rocket lifted off from Blue Origin's facilities in West Texas. The passengers experienced a few minutes of weightlessness at the flight's apex before gravity dragged things back down. The capsule parachuted to a landing near the launch site. It's the 6th flight with passengers for Blue Origin, which was founded by Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos. American Airlines says it's cutting 2% of its flights from its schedule in September and October. The company calls the cuts proactive adjustments. Airlines have been struggling with staffing shortages, summer weather, and air traffic control delays as passengers are returning to their pre-pandemic travel in droves. The cuts are the latest in a series by airlines in the U.S. to ease air traffic disruptions this summer.
New tonight, the federal government is taking action that may help calm frustrated travelers. The DOT is proposing rule changes that would make it easier for airline passengers to get flight refunds. Under the previous rules, airlines were only required to pay back ticket charges if there was a significant change to the timing of a plane takeoff. But now the DOT is proposing that passengers could get a refund if their arrival or departure times are moved by at least 3 hours or if they face other lengthy changes. New UW Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin marking her first full day on campus with a little ice cream on Bascom Hill. And the go-to question, if she had her own flavor, what would it be?
I've gotten some cute ideas so far just today. I got somebody saying to me Manuki dough, somebody playing with ginger chancellor, and somebody playing with, what was it, Blue Mnuchin or Manuki something else with my rather odd last name.
As of today, she is now officially the 32nd Chancellor of the university. Mnuchin is the former Dean of the UCLA School of Law, but her hiring isn't without controversy. Almost immediately after the Regents announced they had chosen her, several state Republicans blasted the pick, calling it a partisan selection.
More than 75,000 rubber ducks took a splash into the Chicago River this afternoon. The annual Ducky Derby with its biggest year ever. It raises money for Special Olympics Illinois with rubber ducks racing along the river for prizes, including a new car, a Caribbean cruise, and tickets to the Windy City Smokehouse and much more. People can adopt rubber ducks ahead of the race, and this year's Ducky Derby raised more than $330,000. It's 2 months into the Atlantic hurricane season, still expected to be above normal. NOAA released its latest forecast today. This season has been less active to this point compared to the last 2 seasons, but forecasters still expect it to become the 7th straight above normal hurricane season. It calls for 14 to 20 named storms. So far this year, there have been just 3 of those.
And here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti with a look at our forecast.
Well, this is actually when the peak hurricane season starts, right about now through about mid-October. So, you know, just because we got off to a slow start doesn't mean that it won't pick up. Right now, the tropics are pretty quiet. Around here, 3 things you need to know. We got more heat and humidity on the way. As we take a look at the graphic here tomorrow, look for very warm conditions. High temperatures topping out in the middle 80s. Humidity levels still tolerable, but we'll see higher humidity and higher temperatures on Saturday, just downright hot and humid. That will lead to some thunderstorm chances later Saturday night and especially Sunday into Sunday night as a cold front starts to move through southern Wisconsin. High temperatures mid 80s for tomorrow. There's that 92-degree reading for Saturday, but once the thunderstorms start coming in on Sunday, notice how the temperatures drop off. Mid-70s on Monday as the storms come to an end. Tuesday will be dry with highs in the upper 70s. And then very comfortable heat. Highs between about 80 and 82 into next weekend. But we do have that alert day in the forecast for Saturday afternoon. High temperatures, lower 90s. Factor in dew point temperatures around 70. Heat index readings about 95 to 100 degrees. And that's for all of southern Wisconsin. Future track shows the story. Clear skies for tonight. Winds out of the east have kept temperatures a little cooler closer to Lake Michigan. But notice the wind direction shift to the south as we head into tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s, but the humidity won't be here yet. That's farther out to the west, already starting to develop thunderstorms and parts of Minnesota into northwestern Wisconsin by early on Saturday morning. But that hot and humid airflow actually makes the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere warm enough to suppress thunderstorm development here. So even though it'll be hot and humid, the better chances for storms will be on the northern edge of the heat, and that'll be mainly from about the Twin Cities into parts of central and northwestern Wisconsin. Even on Saturday evening, notice how the storms are staying up to our north and actually kind of dissipate a little bit overnight, and then the better chances for storms start to arrive on Sunday. That as the wind shift starts to come through. Notice the winds out of the south here, the wind shift to the northeast. So the storms forming on the cooler side of the front, that would limit the severe weather potential, but could bring some heavy downpours as the storms kind of traverse the area. Doppler track right now, no precipitation here. Again, that will change as we head into Saturday. Storm Prediction Center already by Saturday evening has at least a marginal or level 1 risk for an isolated severe thunderstorm, mainly over west central Wisconsin. But again, the heat and humidity, just too much for the storms to really get going here in the southern part of the state. The rain, though, especially as we head into Sunday and Sunday night, some areas, especially in central Wisconsin, that could see a couple of rounds of thunderstorms, could see as much as 2 or 3 or more inches of rain, whereas in the southern part of the state, the rain will be much more spotty. Some areas picking up about a ½ inch or a quarter of an inch. Other areas could pick up an inch or two in a heavier thunderstorm, but those are kind of hard to pinpoint this far out. For tomorrow, though, no rain at all. Sunny skies. A very warm day. High temperature topping out at 85. Heat index about 85 to 90. 7 to 10 day forecast. 92 on Saturday with the alert day. Thunderstorms Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday's high 86. And that drop in temperatures as the storms end on Monday. Look for temperatures to stay right around 80, give or take a degree or two, all the way through next weekend.
And coming up in sports, Jordan Love making some noise at training camp. The high praise Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur had to say about their backup QB. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
With the best service, quality, and prices, Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. To help you remember, I made this cheer. V value. A, awesome value. L, lots of value. U.
For a limited time, get free kids' glasses and eye exam only at Stanton Optical. Walk-ins welcome.
I'm Rebecca Clayfish, and your choice for governor is clear. I'm the Tea Party mom who took on the Madison establishment and won. Tim Michaels is a Madison insider who's enriched himself with your tax dollars. I stood with Scott Walker to cut your taxes. Tim Michaels sided with the union bosses and pushed to raise our gas tax to make himself richer. Tim Michaels is out for himself. I'm Rebecca Clayfish. As governor, I'll always fight for you.
Spectrum presents Stream Home Makeover with JoJo.
We transform the Joneses' home, upgrading their entertainment experience with the best TV and internet services from Spectrum. Let's go! With Spectrum TV, you get your favorite channels and streaming apps, plus tons of on-demand.
Switch to Spectrum TV and internet for only $49.99 a month each. Now with even faster speeds of 300 megabits per second. Call 1-844-480-4713.
Ready for more? Take a look. With the free Spectrum TV app, you can stream live sports, news, and more on all your devices, inside, outside, and on the go.
Wow, that's awesome!
There's more. We powered up the game room with Spectrum Internet, which gives you the fast, reliable speeds you need to power all your devices. And it comes with free security suite, so you can feel completely safe and secure.
Switch to Spectrum TV and internet for only $49.99 a month each. Now with speeds of 300 megabits per second. Call 1-844-480-4713.
Call now.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salonpas patch reported reductions in pain severity, using less or a lot less oral pain medicines, and improved quality of life. That's why we recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
Maybelline New York's Instant Eraser. Our do-it-all concealer. Conceal. Contour. Correct. Now with up to 12-hour moisturizing wear. Instant Eraser Concealer. Maybelline New York.
And my economic plan is moving this country in a better direction.
What planet is he living on? Record gas prices, 40-year high inflation, costing families $5 grand more for their necessities. Sorry, Joe, that's the wrong direction. Here on planet Earth, Senator Johnson voted against Biden's massive deficit spending that sparked inflation. And he passed tax cuts to help Wisconsin families survive the economic turmoil caused by Democrats. I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at Lens Crafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Paul Chryst already knows what he has in the run game, but when it comes to Wisconsin's passing attack, besides Chip DK, there's not a lot of experience or production. Dean Ingram and Keontae Lewis have never caught a pass as a Badger, while Marcus Allen and Skylar Bella have a combined 4 career catches to their names. But what they lack in games played, they make up for with confidence.
Consistency, big plays. Everyone in the room brings a different set of skills, different character, and we can make that work together for our team and this offense.
Obviously, there's a younger group, but I think that, with that, we have a lot of talent and a lot of guys who are super hungry. So it's honestly exciting to be able to, make the room that we want it and shape this team, help shape this team into the team that we want to be.
For the first time in his Packer career, Jordan Love is turning some heads at training camp and making some plays. So much so that this week, Matt LaFleur said he had his best practice in 3 years in Green Bay. The backup QB made throws in deep coverage and was in rhythm, and even Aaron Rodgers had praise for Love and his improvement, calling Love's footwork beautiful.
That's who you want to be telling you you're doing the right thing, so it's good to hear that. But yeah, the way I take it is just trying to keep building on that, take it day by day and just try to keep getting better from there.
I really think the biggest difference is year 3 is always, a jump, but I've seen the fundamentals, get that little cleanup that needed to happen that allows him, I think, to be a little bit more accurate.
What a week it is for Leroy Butler. Tonight, the former Packer was introduced before the Hall of Fame game and saw his locker in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, Saturday, the inventor of the Lambeau Leap will be enshrined in the NFL history, becoming the 28th Packer inducted into Pro Football's Hall of Fame. As far as the game tonight, the Raiders lead the Jags 27-3 late in the 4th. Packers' first preseason game is next Friday. Former Badger Vince Beagle's season is done in Baltimore before it even kicked off. The first-year Raven suffered a torn Achilles at practice and will miss the entire season. It's Beagle's second torn Achilles in 3 years. He suffered the same injury during training camp in 2020 with the Dolphins. A Brew Crew trying not to get swept by the Pirates. Christian Yelich just about as frustrated as the fans are these days. He gets tossed in the 7th along with manager Craig Counsell. And Milwaukee actually led 4-3 entering the bottom of the 10th. But of course, Pittsburgh tied it up and then would win it on a wild pitch from new brewer Matt Bush. Pirates sweep the Brew Crew 5-4 in 10 innings. We're back after this.
Don't miss A1 Furniture's warehouse clearance sale with savings up to 40% off, plus instant cashback and free financing. 2-piece living room sets from $7.99, sectionals $9.99, queen mattress just $2.99. Only at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
I'm Alex Lazary, and I approve this message.
What does Make It in America mean to Ron Johnson? Not much. The record shows Johnson defended a company that moved Wisconsin jobs overseas, praising outsourcing as economically efficient because products can be made dirt cheap in other countries. And Johnson personally profited from a tax law that rewarded companies who outsource American jobs to China. That's Ron Johnson, selling out American jobs to make more for himself. Talk about dirt cheap.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, just move on. You'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started. Now place your order and lock in 2.9% APR for 60 months on select Ford vehicles, and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in.
Look, it's a Dupaco. We're not a bird or a plane. We are a mighty credit union, born of thrift and laser focused on the interests of our members, harnessing the combined power of more than 144,000 members and businesses. We work to put money back where it belongs, into your community and into your pocket, working tirelessly to help you pursue your dreams. Isn't that super? Join the movement at dupaco.com/super. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Culver's couldn't have started anywhere but in Sauk City, Wisconsin. Still today, we are a family restaurant. Here, nearby farms grow the food we eat, smiles are contagious, and everyone is someone's neighbor. It's a place where our love of fresh food is as strong as our love for each other. It's a feeling of welcome you'll notice the moment you stop by. Because where we come from has made us who we are, and for that, we couldn't be more proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Rebecca Clayfish. She's the ultimate Madison insider. Clayfish went to China to sell out Wisconsin workers. Back home, Clayfish took big money from lobbyists and then went to work for one, working for special interests backing amnesty for illegal immigrants. Pro-China, pro-amnesty. No wonder Clayfish refused to support Donald Trump. Rebecca Clayfish, the pro-China, pro-amnesty, anti-Trump politician. She's the ultimate Madison insider.
Back to school means big savings at A1 Furniture. Mattresses for $149, sofas $399, flip-flops $299, dressers $149. Up to 40% off store-wide plus instant cash back. The Back to School savings event only at A1 Furniture.
Sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning, installing train equipment and servicing all brands.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, some food mashups just make sense, but this one really doesn't. Mustard and donuts. French's is teaming up with the Brooklyn-based Dough Donuts to celebrate the popular condiment for National Mustard Day on Saturday. It's a brioche donut with a sweet and savory yellow mustard coating, topped with a yellow mustard cake crumble. Luckily, these tangy treats will only be available at the New York donut chain's stores and on their website until they sell.
Don't try to sugarcoat it. It's mustard on a donut.
They're
not selling out. They're not selling out.
And follow that up with the ketchup popsicle. You know.
Gary's on a roll.
You'd be rolling me out of here if I had one of those, that's for sure. Well, skies have cleared out tonight. Temperatures are pretty comfortable. Right now, 71 in Madison. Most areas are in the upper 60s. Dew-point temperature still not too high, so we'll notice the humidity certainly by Saturday. Look for a low temperature tonight of about 59, high tomorrow 85 with mostly sunny skies, but again, that alert day in the forecast for Saturday for the heat and humidity, highs lower 90s, and heat index up around 100.
All right, Gary, thank you, and thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.